time. And it's fair as well.
And then, so in terms of like, obviously there's some questions that are asked to all candidates, and some people might want to ask questions specifically about a manifesto. They ask that about a particular candidate. And then, can the other candidates, so like, can they respond? Because they might want to say, well, actually, I disagree and I would do that differently.
Yeah. I think so.
So just encourage them to chip
Encourage
in.
them to talk. The other thing is you might want to give them a chance to ask each other a question.
Yeah, I did think that, because I think some of them would like to ask questions. You don't want the whole thing to just end up them questioning each other, but one question each.
Each to another candidate.
Okay.
As long as they don't keep them up, mind you, get an opportunity to say what you think.
Yeah. So I'm going to
I've got this for me. I'm going to have to manoeuvre somewhere where there's a plug socket. Although this room seems really weirdly divided.
There's one up there, but
Oh,
I wouldn't suggest you go there because you can come in and down the steps there. See if it's somewhere else on the stairs.
Don't all look too excited or anything. Oh.
I'll take it.
There's a microphone right here. No. They're not here.
Really?
You guys ready? I feel like I need some lip balm already. Oh, that was actually broadcasting my to the rest of the world. Oh, don't film me. Just trying to get some lip balm, everyone. No pressure.
What's the hashtag on Twitter for this? It is for Solent.
I feel like I can't lean back because this is like, oh, it's better. Yeah. I don't want to switch it off and then everyone's like,
It's just like a TV host
That's
thing,
weird.
you know.
It is. I feel actually like I'm a celebrity. It's quite cool. Never been a celebrity before.
So what? I'm a footballer after a press release. No, the boxer. So why are you gonna win this match? You're gonna kill him.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Question Time 2014. On the stage, you already have your candidates for VP Student Engagement. I'm Christina Stone. I'm the current president of the Students' Union. And today, we will be talking to the candidates. They'll each have 2 minutes to talk about their manifesto, introduce themselves, and then we'll go to questions. We'll have questions from online, and we'll take questions from the floor, which means you guys. There is going to be a prize of a Freddo for the best question from the floor in each category, and I will just choose a winner and award it at the end of each one. The candidates will also have the opportunity to ask 1 question each to your other candidates, and then they'll wrap up and we'll move on to the next group. So, if you would like to introduce yourself, starting on the left, and I haven't got a timer. That was really badly planned, even though I knew I was timing you. Sorry. Can someone time? Lorna's on it. 1 second.
Starting on your left or my left? Which?
The left to the audience. Yeah.
It's the only
Okay. Okay. Go, off you go.
So, hi everyone, I'm Stella. I'm first year. I know it's a bit shocking, but I really believe that there is a lot I can do for you. I would like to apologize first about my manifesto because it's not online, because I had a bit troubles with it anyway. I can present you my ideas, what can I do now? So, the first thing is about the fees. We pay a lot, and what I think that the uni can do for us is to give us £10 every month so we can print, because it's ridiculous that we have to use, it's okay, to use our own money. We need Solent up. We all need it because it's ridiculous that we have to upload, we have to sign up so many times just to take a look at our timetables or so on. this is something else that should be fixed. That we have to sign up so many times. That's ridiculous. Don't you think it will be better to not to pay for the TOGA when you graduate, because they're really expensive and you hire them just for a few hours? Do you know that you can borrow equipment from JM building, like batteries, cables, cameras, and so on? But not every faculty can do it, and I think that this should be fixed somehow.
You have 10 seconds.
Okay. The other thing I want to do is fundraising. It could be really fun, organizing different events.
Okay, that's time.
Okay,
Thank you. Next candidate.
Okay, this is good? Yes. Yep. Hi everyone, I'm Libby. I'm running for VP Engagement and I'm the third year fine art student. So if I'm elected, I'd like to, the gown reduction thing I agree with, that we pay £50 and it's just, you know, you're not allowed in unless you wear it. So I think that the uni should, or the union should buy them and then have a significantly reduced payment, or preferably none, but you know, if you pay like £10, it's much better than paying £50 because it really puts me off going to graduation having to pay £50 for a gown. I'd also like to implement self-defense awareness or classes, so people know what to do in a confrontational situation. Okay, and bike maintenance. There is already a bike maintenance thing, but I'm in my third year and I've been cycling pretty much the whole time and I'm not really aware of where it is or when it is. So it would be great to have some more awareness about that, or maybe more regularly. Yeah, or maybe like if it's information is sent out sort of to more places or being more prominent in the student union. And the fourth thing is when moving out time comes around, there's so much stuff that is usable that's thrown away. So I'd like to organize like a donation or potentially, if it's feasible, for a collection of those things. And then a few days later, when everyone's had the stress of moving out, they can go back and pick up things that would be useful, like mops and brooms and, you know, cleaning materials that people would have thrown away because they don't have enough room or it's too stressful to pack them. So, yes, how far in am I?
You've got 10 seconds left.
Oh,
so
that's me. Vote for me, yay.
like it. 2 minutes you have. Okay, when you're ready.
Hi everyone, my name is Casper. I'm a third year PR student and basically I'm going for VP engagement as well. I believe though that the root of what I want to do is actually in the role name as well, engagement. The issues engagement is incredibly low, both with students and staff. I don't know if you all remember first year, so if we have any first years in here, but right there. In the first year, you know, the issue, they sell the AAA bands and they have a huge amount of engagement with the students, but that sort of fades out. And as VP engagement, I want to fix that and I want to make sure that the contact and the, you know, the feeling of being a member of the union stays for all the 3 years. Many students actually don't realize that they are the union when they enroll into the university for all 3 years. So that's one thing I want to focus on. Another one is I want to focus on the issues engagement with the business life, create some events and fundraisers that links with the local business community to create part-time jobs, to create networking connections, and most of all, I want to create a social spirit at Solent where not only like classes talk together, but where every single course across faculties talk together. Because I have a background in PR, and it would be great if I had, you know, been introduced through events to someone who does web development and another one who does filming, and you know, it just helps our future when we graduate and we're looking for jobs and doing projects. So another part of what I want to focus on is events and fundraisers that bring the students together. And last but not least, I also want to focus on the sports and societies. They need more support, and we need a better social spirit for these. And basically, you need to vote for me because I can improve the engagement of the issue of all.
Thank you. Also running for VP engagement, we have Sam BK, who couldn't be here tonight, and Hannah Malarkey, who gave me a statement to read, which was that she was sorry she couldn't be here, but unfortunately she was at her grandmother's funeral as she died last week. That's why she's not here. She wanted you to know that. Their manifestos are both available online as well, so please do have a look at those. And thank you to our candidates for their 2-minute introductions. So we'll kick off the questioning, live linked to this little lovely. So the first question is asked of all the candidates, what do you think are the top priorities for this role? And we'll start with Casper.
Well, the top priorities I would say is engagement. The fact that the students avoid people in blue shirts with branded SU because they just know it's a questionnaire. And it's the fact that when the SU or Southampton Solent University goes out to get a survey for, say, the annual general meeting, they get maybe 300 responses, whereas a union at Southampton gets 5,000. And I believe improving this engagement actually can increase the amount of funding that the SU gets, which increases the amount of services that we can give students.
Thank you. And Libby?
I guess it's quite similar, but yeah, overall engagement and mostly awareness. So there are loads of stuff that the SU offer, but a lot of students don't know about it. So I guess finding ways to make them more aware of what's going on, especially in, like, I'm in Below Bar Studios, and we feel quite isolated over there. So not just to other campuses, but to everyone in general, more awareness of things happening.
Thank you. Stella, did you want to add anything?
I think my answer is the same. I mentioned this in my manifesto, but you obviously can see it. That me and Gargano, because we are working together, we want to create more awareness about student union. So yeah, that's my answer is the same.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any questions from the floor? I do have questions here, but I'm just thinking that if we think ahead, then the microphone can get to you before I ask you to say it. Have a think. And don't forget, there will be a prize if you ask a question, and it's a good one. So the next question is, what's the first thing you would do when you started your term in office? So obviously you have your manifesto, you also have your job role. When you start, you'll have training, but once you've done your training, what's the first thing you would do? And we'll go to Libby first.
I guess I'd sort of feel around and find the best ways to implement how I'm actually going to do it, and find out who I need to talk to. And like, there'll be several ways that I can do one thing, and maybe some won't be feasible and some will. So I guess throwing it all out there, trying to get as many ways to do the same thing as possible.
Okay, and Stella, what would the first thing you would do in office?
The first thing I would do is to show everyone my ideas and ask for their opinion, and if they have something to add. So yeah, that's it.
And Casper?
I'd probably take it from 2 stages. So the first one is looking at the marketing strategy and changing that to something where students in the second and third year, they want to engage more with the issue, come to the events. And the second thing I wanted to focus on is the induction week, where basically from the start, we need to start somewhere, one of the first years, with the engagement, and basically make sure that the events and the engagement we have going from the first few weeks keeps going throughout the year, and also create a series of events or fundraisers that mixes up the courses so people get to know each other and get a stronger social spirit with the sports as well.
Thank you. And the next question we have is, how would you increase engagement with the Students' Union, Stella?
Probably social media, because it's really accessible nowadays. And like, even now I can see everyone has laptop and phones in their hands. So yeah, that's it, social media.
Okay. And Casper?
Well, I'd really look into like the way they use social media, because if you look at it, Twitter has over 4,000 followers and Facebook has over 7,000, yet every single post, which is like 2 or 3 days, gets maybe a like, 2 or 3. So the engagement is really low compared to the numbers. And instead of looking at how to just connect with students, look at the root of the problem and see what students want to do with the issue, with the Students' Union.
Okay. And Libby?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of Facebook/social media stuff already, but I think I'd quite like to have a calendar, like create an online calendar, and maybe every student would automatically be on a mailing list, but they could unsubscribe if they wanted to. So it would do like, do you want to be involved? You are involved, but if you don't want to be, you can unsubscribe to a calendar.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any questions? Yeah, we've got one there.
Cool. My question's on.
Oh, can you wait till we get the microphone? Sorry, otherwise the people watching this from home won't be able to hear you.
My question is basically on societies and sports, but how do you plan to help both societies and sports gain members from all years? Because it's a lot of the time it's targeted to first years, but there are always second and third years and foundation students also interested in this. And how are you going to make sure this is always equal opportunities for every single group and not just specific groups?
Are you asking this to a specific candidate?
To everybody.
Or to all three? Okay. Then we'll start with Casper.
Fair enough. I think the easiest way to do it, or not easy, it's going to be easy, it's going to be very hard, but the best way to do it would be to integrate some of the events with the relevant sports societies, or just, societies. And basically, if I'm elected, I'm open to any ideas, so students can just come to me and we'll see if we can make it happen. No idea is too big, as long as it doesn't cost too much money. And yeah, that's probably it.
Thank you. And Stella?
I'm really confused about this question, but I guess awareness is important here as well, because if you know about the event and what that you can take part, you can always try. I don't know what else to say, sorry.
Okay. Libby?
I'm slightly confused about the question as well. I was just, do you think it is currently unequal, directed unequally towards different years?
Generally, societies are aimed at the first years, because like Freshers' Fair is always to the first years instead of all the years, and there are lots of different aspects that are not getting through to all the students. Because I've ran one society, I'm helping out another one, and with us, we feel, to me, I feel a little bit left out sometimes by the engagement role, and they are there for me. And it's got a lot better with Alex now, and I think, and definitely with sports, because we seem separated a bit, and yet we're still part of the same thing. So it's all about how would you engage all the societies, make sure everyone's feeling equal opportunities that are getting to every society, and that all the students in the entire university, including in Blow Bar, Warsash, and the SM building, are all getting equal opportunities to come and join societies or know about them, and lots of different things, really.
Yeah.
You want to go first?
Sure. Well, to be fair, I believe, as I said in the 2-minute pitch, that the root of the problem isn't really how you pitch the societies or the sports to the students. The root of the problem is the fact that students don't engage with the union, or the university for that matter, neither does staff. So if you look at the root of the problem again, I believe that you could improve the overall effectiveness of societies and sports and engagement.
Okay. I think that there should be more society fairs, because I think is there 1 or 2 a year? Yeah, and also for some of them to be a little bit more accessible. So I went on one of them the other day, and like the social media links were dead, and also a lot of them are closed groups. So if you want to add them on Facebook, you have to be like, I want to join this group and I'm going to add you. But if it was a page that you could like, for example, you could maybe find out information more easier, without having to commit yourself to joining a closed group of a select amount of people. But yeah, I guess that's my answer.
Thank you. Thanks for your question. So in the Students' Union, the VP engagement is commonly known as VP Fun. How would you seek to make the union fun? Whoever wants to go first, fire away. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess I currently run quite a lot of events, but I'd quite like to do them within the union more so. So I do close swaps and stuff. It's just ways that are kind of exclusively student related, like close swaps and food things, and lots of food things, lots of clothes things, just like things that you don't have to pay too much for, and it isn't a necessity to drink loads, but you can do what you want. But just like events that you might not be able to access just in the general outer Southampton area. But yeah, just lots of things.
Okay, thank you. And Stella, how would you make the union fun?
I was thinking about making fun and fundraising at the same time, because now I'm running a campaign about Wear It Pink, and you may don't know about it actually, but in a few weeks we will inform you with Kirkano, because we will make a stall in the main building. It's really fun campaign. You're supposed to just have fun and wear something pink, and yeah, I think we can do it.
Thank you. And Casper?
Well, to be fair, I think the funniest part is going to be the fact that I have students like out here that will come to me, or if not elected, another VP engagement, and basically come with a fun idea, and we'll see if we can bring it to life. That's probably the largest part of it, but also I'm probably going to create quite a lot of fun, both activities and fundraising events. So basically, you can have fun and do some good at the same time.
Thank you. So the role of a sabbatical officer is one to represent students at Solent. How would you do this in an inclusive and diverse way? We'll go to Stella.
Sorry,
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, so the role of a sabbatical officer is to represent all of the students at Solent. Okay. How would you do that in an inclusive and diverse way, so you're representing everyone and not just the same people all the time?
Yeah, the good communication is okay, so probably I'll do a lot of surveys, not just online, but communicating with, face to face with everyone, because you get more information like this. So yeah.
Thank you. Casper?
I probably would sort of monitor talk on social media and basically listen to what the students want. I wouldn't exactly go out and do surveys and face-to-face communication, because that isn't really reaching all of the students. That's just reaching that inclusive little group that comes through the main building if I stand there for half an hour. So probably the easiest way to do it would be to set up an extra mailbox for suggestions and then go through all of them on a daily basis.
Okay, and Libby?
I would do surveys, both online and not online. With the online ones, I think it's really good to have an incentive like print credit, for example. But as well as that, to make it fully diverse, go to the societies and ask them for survey information, because I think there's quite a diverse group range.
Okay, thank you. We have a question from Twitter from Alex Robertson. He asks, what would be your main strategy in encouraging non-interested people in becoming more involved in the union? And we'll ask Libby.
For example, the calendar thing, it would be cool if they automatically got sent information, and if they didn't want it, they could not receive it. But I think most of the time it's just being unaware of what happens as to why they're not engaged, not because they don't want to do it. But just a promotion about what's going on and discussion about like cool, fun stuff that's happening. So just letting them know that it's existing is step one. I don't think it's really apathy. I think it's just that they're unaware slightly.
Okay, Casper?
Well, to be fair, the Students' Union has a good reputation because they offer so many good services, and I'd probably try to engage with them and see, first of all, why they aren't interested, but also involve them in the decision making, and sort of if we're launching a new service, sort of involve the students in how this service should be shaped, so they feel sort of a sense of I don't want to use the word engagement, but engagement to it.
Okay, and Stella.
Actually, the first day I came to Solent, I understood about Solent Students' Union, and it was because of Marisa, because she works for you and she was in the main building. She explained me everything about it, and that was really impressive. I think more people should do this in the first days at uni, so they can inform students, especially the first year students, about Students' Union and everything it does.
Thank you. Have we got any questions? Yeah. If you do have questions partway through, if you put your hand up, and then when I've seen you, you can put it back down so you don't have to hold it up for ages, but then I'll know you have one.
My current question is aimed at the girls. Yeah, basically, you mentioned at the beginning in your manifestos a lot of really nice ideas that sound absolutely amazing, print credit and cheaper robes and all of that. But do you consider they are realistic? At the end of the day, the Student Union Solent has been running this way for quite a long time, and there must be a reason why that hasn't happened, because your plans are realistic and achievable.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're completely realistic, but I think potentially the reason it hasn't happened yet is because there's a lot to do, and there's only, VP engagement is only 1 year at a time, so there's only so much you can do in a year, and previously other things have been worked on, but you can't do everything at once, so there's a reason that everything isn't done, because you can only do a bit at a time, but I don't think there's anything unrealistic about the points in my manifesto.
Okay, and Stella?
Yeah, every year the people who works for Students' Union has different things to achieve, different. So yeah, I think they're achievable, and I guess we will fight this.
Okay. So, if there was a fight between a lion and bear, which one would win? Stella? Yeah.
Okay.
I went there.
I would say a lion.
Why?
Oh.
Sorry, I meant to say, which one would win and why?
Yeah. I would say a lion. I really have no idea. Maybe because that's my zodiac sign.
Okay, Libby?
I'm going with a lion because my cat looks considerably like a lion. And there's another cat that hates him that is like a bear, and he always wins the fight. No, like hands down, always wins.
Thanks.
Wow. Well, I'd say the lion. Well, first of all, because it's faster, but that's probably the second reason. Well, because if it's about to lose, it can probably just run away and save its life, come back for another day.
Okay. Thank you. Yep. We'll go with you with the red hoodie. Sorry, I don't know your name.
This one's for Casper. You talked about the importance of inter-society collaboration. What kind of specific events can you think of that would involve a handful of societies working together to make something amazing?
Ooh, that's a toughie. Probably off the top of my head, I'd say some sort of well, take some of the sports societies, maybe a round of the ones that has the least members to start with, and make them engage through an event with societies that has a lot of members, or looking at societies that doesn't have a lot of sports engagement and why that is, sort of see how we could get them interested. It's probably my best bit off the top of my head. Would have to think about it a bit more. There are about 47 societies and a lot of sports, so it's not something you can have lying around in your head.
Okay, we'll go to. Did you still have a question? We'll go to you and then back to Alexandra.
My question's for Libby, because she mentioned with halls, setting up a system where, because I noticed there was loads of stuff that got thrown away from when I moved out of halls, and I just thought, how would you implement that idea and make it a reality?
So I've got a couple of ideas. I'm not sure if I was elected which way it would go, but one of them is that there's a space either at uni or maybe a space nearby halls or the polygon that people could take the things that they were gonna throw away before they have to move out. Leave them there for a couple of days, because normally a contract ends on one day and starts on another day, so you have to store space overnight. And then come back a few days later. So if we can get space for a couple of days. And the other alternative is to potentially expand the eco-earny thing. So maybe there could be a collection service of people to donate their stuff, and then a few days later when they've moved in and they don't have any of that stuff, to collect it again. So yeah, there's 2 avenues, possibly more. We'll see.
That would be really helpful.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Hi, you said about gowns and print credits. For me, and what I understand, they would be more of a VP educational welfare kind of thing. Engagement for me, whilst I've been at uni, has been around societies and work experience and fun in the SU. I was wondering if you had engaged, or what societies you had engaged in during your time at university. For all of you, yeah.
I'll go first. Okay. At the beginning of my second year, and my first year, I was in language swap for quite a while. I was like one of the original members, but there's quite a lot of workload on my course, so I'm not able to entirely commit to it anymore. But I still keep in touch with people who I did it with, and it's left its mark,
Okay. Casper?
Well, the first year I did rowing, so yeah, that's sort of the engagement I had within the sports societies then. Now, me being Danish, I have talked a little bit with the Norwegian society, and besides that, I haven't engaged much with them, especially because my course is extremely both vocational heavy and theoretical heavy, so we don't have a lot of time from the middle of our second year, sadly.
Stella?
Well, as a first year student, I haven't enrolled for any of the societies, maybe just the people from my country. I'm from Bulgaria, so yeah, that's the only one.
Okay. Yep.
Just an add-on to that question, because it really is kind of out, because society isn't the only thing that the SU and the SU engagement do. So what about all the campaigning stuff? Because I know you said you did a campaign, which is quite good. But what about going to stuff like the Solent Council that goes on and discussing some of the ideas you've already brought to that already? Because that's another part of engagement. Engagement? No, that is right. I don't know what I'm saying. Engagement. Priority is to go to that as well, and some of the other stuff also around the SU engagement side of things, so like campaigning, and I can't think at the top of the head.
Is your question about stuff that has happened and now is sort of
that you're doing yourself or you would like to do as a future, just to see what it's like and try and engage it more often?
Okay. I do quite a lot on that front, really. So last year, I started a petition about carry bag tax. There's a lot of plastic wasted, etc., environmentalism. So I started a petition to change the law on that. You needed 10,000 signatures in a year, which equals 350 a day or so. So it didn't get there, but it's getting there. It's supposed to be implemented in 2015 if the Conservatives get re-elected. But I also volunteer, and I speak to the council as much as I possibly can about glass recycling, and I just do what else? There's quite a lot of sort of environmental or political elements to my engagement with the community. Yeah.
Stella?
Even if I'm first year, I had the opportunity to work with real clients. This was because of our tutor, Samantha Gibson. It's really tough, but I think we're doing great, and we will deliver a great campaign. And I'm sure all of you will understand about it because we're going to post it on social media. So. Yeah.
Okay, and Casper.
Could you repeat the question again, just to make sure I get it right?
Yeah. So what other stuff, a part of the engagement role, as far as we understand it and you understand it, have you done, and stuff like student council, things like that?
So what I've done previously?
Yeah, and you might be willing to go and do yourself as well. Now you want to go for this role.
Well, I was a student representative for 2 years. Which involved a lot of trying to change my course for the better, listening to my class, and I'm very outspoken. So I'm sort of, if I believe something could be better, it should be, and I'm sort of going for it. I've worked, being on a PR course, I've worked with Solent creatives quite a bit. I've also worked with projects with Southampton Solent University and thereby the SU, sort of analyzing their entire marketing and communication strategy. So I think I have a unique insight into how you engage with students the best way and what needs to be changed and revamped of these strategies. Yeah.
Okay. Are there more questions?
There has been a lot of talk about all the sports societies and fundraising and doing something for the nature. And collaborate quite a lot, but there are a lot of many more societies out there that have nothing to do with sports and are quite separate. You all want to unite them, but have you thought how to do that? Because there needs to be something that will bring them together, and not just the societies. I think both staff and students should be engaged much more than just going out together.
Is that to all the candidates?
Yes, that's all the candidates, please.
Okay. Should we start with Stella?
I can take it.
Do you want to?
No, we'll start with Stella.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I think, yeah, again, the communication is really important here. Sorry.
That's okay. Do you want me to move on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I just reply in a minute?
Casper?
Well, yeah, as you said, some of the sports societies already sort of work together, but they do it independently of the SU. And then there's other societies which are sort of excluded out in the cold, or they are a lot smaller. And I think the goal is to sort of, as you said, the engagement needs to go up from the SU, and the SU needs to sort of function as a hub, so that both, so it's just a sports talking with sports, or a music talking with music. It should be, music talking with sport, sort of cross. I'm looking for the word here, but think cross disciplinary. Mix it up.
Okay, and Libby?
Okay. Whoa, that's loud. Firstly, well, like I said earlier, maybe more fairs, just to make people aware of it with regards to numbers and societies. But depending on how much they want to interact with each other society-wise, like, if a film wants to collaborate with Language Swap, you could arrange a kind of society meeting time so that they're all in the CSI at the same time. And then they have the choice of whether they want to or not. But then we could also set up like events, for example, foreign language film, and it kind of incorporates both. So it really depends partly on how much societies want to, converse with each other, like if they want to be mixed, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, now I can answer. Okay, I guess it depends on what kind of society it is, but they can always organize some kind of a event, not just fairs, but maybe a kind of campaign where they can show what they do and attract more people to join. Yeah, that's my answer.
Okay, we'll have the final question from the audience. Sorry, it's around the other side. Have you got one too? I was pointing to the girl behind you, but if you have one, you can go after her.
All of you mentioned that you would promote the engagement through the social media, and but have you considered those students that don't use social media to find out information about it? Is there any other strategy you plan to promote yourself, engage and make students aware that you are there to promote the student's experience at Solent?
Okay. So yeah, as I mentioned before, the calendar, it would be really good if there was an online calendar, but if students were automatically enrolled for an email sort of digest thing, and if they really weren't interested in receiving it, they can opt out of it. But maybe if there was also sort of, are you interested in this, 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 and this, and you could get emails about that, like specifically from themes that you're interested in, because every student has an email automatically assigned to them. So generally they all check those. So hopefully that would work. Yeah, that's mostly.
Okay.
As you probably have seen, in the main building there are a lot of posters about Students' Union, and there are a lot of people giving you flyers. So this is a good way to interact with people, I think.
And Casper.
I just want to say that I never said I wanted to use social media per se. I said that it needed to be improved, which I have a report that shows that I did myself. I think that to get this information out to all the students, you need to completely rethink how you connect with them, because as it is right now, there are loads of events, but people aren't showing up about it, or they haven't heard about them. So I don't think it's the fact that there's already 7,000 followers on Facebook. I think it's having to rethink the entire engagement strategy, whether this is through the lecturers, get them on board with the issue, or, well, for the first years, catch them and make sure that they keep in touch with the issue from the first year, and then figure out another strategy as again through lecturers for the second and third years. Maybe do some sort of word of mouth or a campaign that really makes people want to attend and engage with the issue.
Okay, are there any final questions for the VP engagement candidates from the audience? Yeah.
So I guess just thought it'd be really cool to hear more examples of how you already, like your skills with engagement. Like, to me, it's about participation and collaboration and sort of events running. And so, yeah, it's just sort of be cool to hear more of inside or outside of university, what you do.
Is that aimed at a particular
All of you.
All. Okay, Casper, do you want to start?
Well, when I was 16, I started my own events company back in Denmark, and we had over 50 employees, and we've had a total of 25 events with about 4,000 guests in total. And I've done events and promotions since I was 16, which I can bring that into it, as well as my 3-year PR degree, which already covers a lot of analysis and knowledge about Solent University and the Students' Union. So those two things combined with the fact that my mind is going about 100 miles per hour with creativity, that can only end well.
Okay, Livy.
I do lots. Yes. Well, I do a lot of stuff about food waste. So supermarkets waste a lot of food. So I distribute it to people around the polygon and to homeless people or people in the street. So there's a lot to do with that, like community participation. But I also run events like clothes swaps. So everyone can bring their clothes and swap them for clothes that are already there. So they get new clothes, and that's all about participation. And I also do a food waste cafe. So that's a collaborative project where we cook up food waste that supermarkets would have wasted and serve it for free to people in a cafe environment. Potlucks, same sort of food thing, where people bring a dish and share it amongst everyone, so it's like a community thing. There's probably more, but they won't come to my head right now.
That's fine. Thank you. Stella?
What have I done is I have written a book about my school, so I think it's a good idea to do it here as well. It's a really tiny book giving you all the information you need if you want to apply. I have done a few campaigns during my first year here. I have taken part in a lot of fundraising campaigns, but it was all in my country, not here. But, well, I think I will improve that during the next year.
Okay, thank you. And do any of the candidates have questions to each other? You have one each if you do have anything to ask.
I do.
Okay.
This is mostly for Libby. A lot of your things you said, except for the mailing list, will cost either money or require like eco-earning. One of the reasons eco-earning is down right now is because it's volunteer and no one wants to do it. And all of these events you talk about, they sound all Jim and dandy and great, but how will you actually make this attractive? How will you make people volunteer? How will you make people want to sort of engage?
Well, the fact that I think, well, for example, the eco-earning thing, moving is so stressful, and everyone experiences it every year. And I think, I'm quite optimistic, but I think people are willing to give to the community. So I think people can be quite eager to volunteer as long as they know that something is going to come from it. And the stress of moving is mental. So anything that would sort of alleviate that, well, I'm definitely up for volunteering for it. But money-wise, so with gown reduction, it would cost money to buy the gowns, but I think if we reduce the cost to like maybe £10, you'd make it back really quickly. Yeah, the initial output would eventually be made back. So I think that's...
Okay, and did either of you two have any questions for your fellow candidates?
I have one. So in your manifesto it said something along the lines of having more pub quizzes and events in the SU, but there's already quite a lot, so I was just wondering if there's anything different or unique that you were planning on doing that's different that was already happening.
Yeah, well, basically, you know, yeah, I did write the pub quiz, first quiz, as I heard. Researched after that is still there, but most people don't know that it's still going. They go to Avondale instead, and that is also the lack of engagement. And some of the unique things, I'd probably use the SU as a hub and integrate it with all of the events that would be done, and also maybe use the SU as a get-together place for, you know, discussing these ideas, and for students to have an effect, be involved in it, and actually have a say in anything that happens.
Cool.
Okay, that's time for VP engagement candidates, so let's give them a round of applause. They've kept as well. You are free. And next up we have VP Education. So if the candidate for VP Education could make the way. Oh, the prize of the Freddo. I'm going to try and throw this to the student using a MacBook for his first question, which I thought was pretty good and brave to ask the first question of the day. Oh, I can't throw. I'm sorry. No, it's down there. Why? Oh, to time. Yeah, I've got one. I'll get it. Yeah. Liz, can you sit in the middle, babe? Laura texts me saying, I see you live on YouTube. Do you want me to set icon time if that's easier?
Yeah, it's probably easier for you.
That's fine. Hi. I need Ben to update my questions. Ben's just chatting. I'm waiting for the questions. Is my microphone on? Ben, can you? I want to make sure that I've got them before I start with you, because otherwise if you talk and then the questions aren't ready, then it's just going to be annoying. It's really hot here. Oh, I was getting a drink. Snuggle. Yep. Okay. Hello. My microphone won't go any louder. Thank you. Hi everyone, welcome back to question time. So on the stage we have the candidate for VP Education, who will also have 2 minutes to introduce herself and tell you briefly about her manifesto. And there will again be a prize for the best question, so think of them. If you have got a question, please raise your hand so I can see, and then I will cut to you from the questions I have on the screen here. So Liz, you have 2 minutes.
Cool. My name's Elisa Raya Ravidas. That's long, but you can call me Liz. Okay, hence my tagline is here to listen, here for action. But no, that's not the reason why. I just found out. But anyway, so okay, my first priorities once I'm elected is first act on feedback. How many of you actually have had feedback, but not enough? Especially to those of you who had really low grade on something. You've tried your bestest and you had really low marks, and you're wondering why, and then you ask your teacher and they just tell you because you haven't actually followed the marking criteria. But that's not really enough. Even the marking criteria is actually really vague. So I want to actually change that. For and the second one, sorry, I wasn't finishing the first one. Okay, I would actually do that through tutors, maybe liaising with, talking to tutors, talking to course leaders, course reps, and faculty reps for that to be feasible. Not just to one, I'm an accounting student, so not just to FUBC, which is the business faculty, but to creative students, to Warsash, to Martech, which is the same, is it? Warsash, Martech, and what did I forget? FK, FUBC, sorry, anyways. Sorry? No, I already said that. Anyways, I'll move on to the next one. I'll make SU's, students' unions and Solent services visible and accessible.
Sorry, you have 10 seconds left.
Oh, okay. And in students' union could offer you a lot of things regarding your feedback issues within campaigning. And then I will give more training to course reps. That means I'll meet up to more course reps.
Sorry.
Okay, that's all right.
Thank you. It's a bit harsh, but...
Thank you.
Okay. So the first question is, what do you think are the top priorities for this role?
Oh, top priorities. I already mentioned that. Top priorities are everyone, the students, making sure that all students are satisfied with their course, and not just the course, the facilities, everything in the university related to academic issues. So like I said, act on feedback, make students' union more visible, so like make sure that students have fun at the same time, and make sure students' union have the skills before they actually go out there to the real world. This is the real world too, but to go out there to after your uni time for your dream job. And top priorities, course reps as well. Course reps are actually there in your course. Unless they don't turn up all the time, you should have their numbers for you guys to actually make sure that they communicate with tutors as well if you have problems, and they can act on it at the same time. And I'll be there for all the students who need academical issues. So I actually lost the question. Top priorities: feedback, students, course reps, and tutors as well, and students' union and Solent services. That's it.
Thank you, Liz. Are there any questions yet from the audience? Yep.
Gosh. Do you ever not have questions? No. Okay.
Hey, you're not allowed to ask questions.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding.
Sorry.
My question, which hopefully is betterly worded this time, is how would you let students be aware of what a problem actually is? Because it's a very fine line between what a problem is and what a student actually might think a problem is. Because I know I've had one where my lecturer wasn't actually giving me feedback and I didn't think it was a problem at the time.
Okay.
Then went and spoke to another one of my tutors and found it was. So that was never said. And then how will you also make sure that the course reps are then doing their job with the problems that have then been allocated and found out about?
Okay, your first question, I might have to ask you for the second question, so you keep that. And first question is, how would I make the students, let the students know that there's a problem? So I would actually, like you said, feedback. You didn't know it was a problem at first. I actually spoke to some students before I actually, I say actually 100 times, before I went and nominate myself for, sounds so selfish, but sorry, ADD. Sorry. Okay. I went out there to students to ask them what the problem was in their course, because I'm running for VP education, and they said, "Oh, there's no problem." And then I asked them, "So how about your feedback? Are your teachers giving you feedback? Do you think SU's actually more engaged enough for that when it comes to academic issues?" They actually said, "Oh, for the feedback." They said, "Oh, actually, yeah, I had a problem with my teacher when this happened, when that happened, when this happened." So actually communicating to students about the problems that they could have, because one big problem might, one small problem for someone might actually be the biggest problem in the whole university, if I'm making sense. And yeah, I think I would communicate with them through, not just through email, probably bugging all the lectures and be there and pretending I'm a student as well. So if that's what it takes to actually communicate with those students, then I will go out there to speak to each of you guys. There'll be a lot, but I will try my best.
Okay.
What was the next question?
About how you make the course reps do their jobs and help with the process of their actual jobs.
Okay, with course reps, I was thinking that course reps aren't actually doing, not all of the course reps. Most course reps do try hard to make sure that the other students in their course are actually happy with their course. But some course reps are just not doing anything. So I will make sure that I actually meet with them almost in a term. I'd meet with them almost like every month, or maybe many times a month. So I will do that, and I will make sure the course reps who don't do anything are gonna get kicked out. I'm joking, not kicked out, but I'll make sure that there's gonna be another election time for electing another course rep that actually does something. Anyways,
okay.
Thank you.
Your intentions are great, but is this working?
No. Try again.
Your intentions are great, but as a course rep myself for the past 2 years, how do you think you're going to get all the course reps to meet with you so often? The annual general meeting is it should be a huge thing. And if I'm not mistaken, about 65 people showed up this year, when it's supposed to be all the course reps plus classmates that have something to say. Any ideas?
Okay, like I said, most course reps aren't doing anything, and so maybe it's kind of hard for the VP education, as Hannah Watts is the VP education now. But as for me, I will actually try to meet up with all the course reps and kind of not catch them during their lecture times, but meet with each course reps in different faculties. Have like a special day. Yeah, for each faculty, instead of having all the faculties, I think, yeah, I'll meet with them almost every month. And then if most course reps don't actually do anything and they don't turn up to any meetings, I will message them. And if they don't reply in a few days, I would actually do something about it. I'll act on it and make sure they're actually doing something. Because course rep, if you don't have a course rep, who are you going to complain to? Your class, your friends? What are they going to do? Listen to your problem. They're always there. But they can't really actually go to the tutors and talk to them about the problem. So the course rep must be trained. And if they don't listen to me, then I'm going to go out there to them and tell them to do something. Sorry. getting too emotional. I might be a bit demanding. Don't be scared becoming course rep. It's amazing, but yeah, you get to talk to your tutors and talk to what's going on. And I'm advertising being a course rep. Anyways, thank you.
Okay. Next question. As VP Education, you will have to attend a lot of university meetings. What, if any, experience do you have of attending university meetings and kind of speaking out in that kind of environment?
I've been to a lot of meetings since I've been here at university. First, like I said, I'm a course rep as well. I've been a course rep for 2 years. And I've been to faculty meetings for course reps. I've been to tutors, just my lecturers meetings. They hate it that I complain too much, and all of us course reps complain too much about their teaching styles, their this style, but it's the best way to let them know that you're actually having problem with your face, no, not the face, but it's a bad example, with their teaching styles. And I've been to, when meeting-wise, I am actually a chair in student council. So I meet up with the student council every month to have student council talk about reports and what they've done so far and what they're going to do next. And another meeting is, oh, can I put like society meetings as well? Yeah, I've had, I'm in 2 societies. So I'm in Sparks Entrepreneurial Society and Accounting Society. So I sometimes have meetings with them to talk about what's the plan for the events that we're having and all those stuff. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from the audience? Yes, Casper?
No, Casper, no.
It's working? Does it work? Yeah, it is. Okay, so I used to be a course rep myself for the first 2 years, and I'm extremely opinionated. But besides, the main point you gave.
I can see that. Sorry, carry on.
Besides the main point you gave, what are your top priorities of to change as VP Education?
Top priorities regarding course reps, yeah?
No, just regarding Solent Education. What are the top things you want to change besides your 3 main points in the manifesto?
Besides the 3 main points. Oh, basically I have other points here as well for in my manifesto. If you have a read, if you go online, solentsu.co.uk and click on my face, then you'll see my manifesto, and then all my points are there. At the end, I said consider the importance of encouraging mentors to international students. Make sure, I got told that international students feel really alone and they don't know how to do once they don't know how to do their report. How do you do an essay? But you actually don't know. I would actually make sure they have a mentor just there for them so they can talk to them. And then enforcing teacher structures. Basically, if you have a lecture and then you don't know what is going on, what the hell is that? What's he talking about? Basically, there has to be an overview at the very beginning to talk about, oh, this is going to happen. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about, and I'll make sure at the end there's a summary so everyone would actually. It's a tiny detail, but it's a tiny information that could actually be helpful for some students. The teaching structures and frequently giving presentations, workshops regarding non-course related information. So like presentation skills, referencing skills. Any of you know how to reference here? Good, that's good. Okay, so some of you didn't actually put your hands up. So I'm targeting those students who don't reference, not just for referencing, but who don't reference well, because sometimes your referencing is 10% of your marks. And presentation skills, we could give you ideas in the workshop. We could give you ideas on how to present well and how to not be nervous, just like me. I'm always nervous, but okay, how to give good presentation and make timetable better. I'm not 100% sure that I could do the timetabling better, but I will try and make sure that each one of you guys get at least one day off. But do you guys have 1 day off already? Any of you? All of you? 2? Lucky people. 30. I know, right? But anyways, maybe some people don't have one day off, especially a day off on a Wednesday because apparently it's sports day on a Wednesday. So maybe have it on a Wednesday so everyone can get interested about sports and continue 24 hours library enforcement. Hannah Watts actually is the VP Education now, and she's actually done really well when it comes to making the library open. From last year, it was only for the last term last year. So, and this term is like 2 terms, isn't it? And I'll try to make sure that I'll try my best to enforce 24 hours library during term time. And what else? Retain Star Awards. Any of you guys liked your teachers or any teachers you like? Not in a really emotional way, but as a teacher. No? Yeah? There you go, that's one person. Oh wow, you guys. Basically, I'll make sure that they would get they'll get awards for being a good teacher. So at the end of the year. So yeah, that's it. That was long. Thank you.
Okay.
So that was a lot longer. Okay. Anyways, that was so that was a bit longer answer than I expected. But to follow up on the education part, now my course, for example, has been restructured so that we can accept more part-time international students who sweep over here for half a year and then go away. And this is solely aimed at the university making money.
I'm sorry?
Basically, for example, our course has been shortened so that our units are now only half a year instead of 1 term instead of 2 terms.
Okay.
Which means that we have more work to do in shorter time, and on top of that, we get handed some student who has no idea what they're doing. And this has been done solely because Southampton Solent University wants to make money. How will you lobby the universities to sort of improve our education instead of letting the university focus on making money? If you get the question.
Yeah. So basically, you're saying you have a unit, and the first 6 months, the first term, you have 1 unit, and you have to do it within that time.
Basically, normal units are stretched from beginning in September till May.
Okay.
Ours are stretched from September.
How many units do you have in the first term?
3, 4.
There you go. There are 3 or 4, but normally most students have 6.
But not to be away from the question. The question was more: how will you lobby the university to not restructure things in order for them to make money, but to provide better education? Because no matter how you structure it, we still have a few months less to write a report, do research, and conduct research, which does affect us. And at the same time, we're handed a student who's here for half a year and don't know what they're doing. How will you lobby the university to improve the education instead of trying to make more money?
Okay, like I said about the structure, it's not just teaching structures. Maybe the structure of the course as well. If it's better for you guys to have 6 units in 1 year, not just 3 units or 4 units in first term and then second term like 3, 4, another 3 and 4. Then I will make sure that tutors actually know that the students now are complaining about it. So I will be asking all of you guys to probably fill out a questionnaire or do a survey to find out if your course is actually, the course structure is actually good. So for me to actually know, because I can't just, I was going to swear, I can't just say some things that I can't do and then, I'll be like, oh, I'll do this, I'll tell your teacher to do this. I can't do that. But I will research about your course, and then I will ask each student probably, and probably act on that, because it might be just your opinion for now, but it might be everyone's. If it's everyone's problem, then something must be acted upon. Yeah. Okay. And course reps. Sorry. Course reps. Yeah, course reps. I'll make sure that course reps should be doing something. So yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Final question for you, Liz, is if you're a superhero, who would you be and why?
Iron Man.
Why would you be Iron Man?
Oh, sorry. Okay. okay, okay. Because I love Robert Downey Jr. and not just education wise. Because yeah, because he's funny and he can save the world without knowing they can be saved. Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. Give it up for Liz. You're free. Would the audience like a short break, or would you like to go? Okay. We'll be back at 10 to 7 to meet your welfare candidates. Oh, would you like to make your way to the stage? God, everyone's getting ready and I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. What? Yep. Hi, and welcome back to question time. So on the stage you have your VP Welfare candidates. We do need to wrap up the whole of question time by 8 o'clock, so I'm not going to let them talk for as long. You will all get 2 minutes to talk about it, but then for questions we'll go straight in there. Okay, so we'll start on the left as always. So you have 2 minutes to introduce yourself and a highlight of your manifesto.
Hi, I'm Ruth First Rolls, and I'm a third-year student studying fashion styling. I'm running for VP Welfare. My manifesto points are time for tea, supporting the students throughout their university career, personal well-being, workshops to ensure a healthy work-life balance for all students, be smart, be safe. I'm going to campaign to make the park safer. Not working. Housing, support for all students, finding housing and workshops that understand their financial sides. Enjoy the little things and take one cup at a time. Vote for me and drink more tea.
Thank you. I did mean to say before you started that if you guys could all lean into the microphone when you talk or bring it closer to you because they can't hear you on the broadcast very well unless you speak very loudly or get quite close. So thanks. Okay, Zara.
Hi, I'm Zara. I'm a third-year film student. My main 3 points in my manifesto are start with housing. So basically, I want to get more support for students moving out of halls into housing. So I set up like a Facebook type group where they can find landlords and house other students if they need to find them to live with, and advice on bills and things. My second point is support. A lot of students, the university is quite stressful, going through 3 years, big stressful transition in your life. I want to get support for students, so like a weekly support group where they can talk to people who have the same issues as them. And the third one is fun, so I want to work with the student engagement officer and get more events in for like international students and Walsash more involved. Because if there's more fun, then you're more happier in yourself and more welfare. So that's it.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm sorry, I have to remove that. My name is Gergana. I'm first-year student. I study public relations and communications. And I'm really sorry that you can't see my manifesto online. I'm really sorry. So my ideas are not only based on what welfare does. I have a list of ideas which are connected to how to make a student's life much more easier. As you know, I work in a team with Stella, who is running for VP engagement. So our aims are to create much more awareness, and we'll start from that. And also my ideas are for, maybe you don't know, but in students' halls, students have internet, but they don't have Wi-Fi, so we have to improve that, because we're in 21st century, so yeah. Maybe to organize transport every week morning, except Wednesday, because it's sports day. So by this, students will go more often to lectures at 9 o'clock, because it's too early, and most of them miss that, and that's a problem. For my another idea is for equipment from university. As Stella already said, we want to make this opportunity for everyone in that university, not only from FCI faculty. So people could take on these equipments and use them. And maybe once a year to do like free testing for venereal diseases, because
that's your time, sorry.
Okay.
Nice one to end on though. Okay. Oh, sorry, I just totally stopped the timer then. I was not in the room. Okay, when you're ready.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm a second-year games development student. I'm campaigning for increased awareness of mental health issues. That's my main point. 1 in 4 people every year will suffer from some type of mental health, whatever it is, depression, anxiety, stress. I just want to make it clear to these students that do suffer from these that you are not alone in these. You're not alone as a sufferer. Secondly, as I think is a common theme, is housing support. I hope to make a student forum or a kind of student hub where people can meet potential people to live with, find letting agencies that they can trust and get along with, not always asking for rent instantly, saying, you haven't paid it within 5 minutes, get out. And hopefully making that online as well, so you can kind of like maybe a Facebook group or something like that, where you can go and find people, talk, and just find friends to live with. And finally, my other point is to decrease the waiting times on any of these services, because I know firsthand that they're quite a long time at times. I had to wait 3 weeks once for support, which I don't think is acceptable. I don't think anyone else thinks it's acceptable. So in a perfect world, it would be instantaneous results. What I'm hoping is to minimize the reply times to at least 24 hours. So daily kind of reports saying, if you need help, come in quick, we'll have a little chat, and we'll talk it over with you. That's my main points.
Thank you, Sam. Okay, so you'll notice a theme here. But first of all, what would you do in the first thing in office? What would the first thing you did be? We'll start with.
I think personal well-being, like setting up workshops so when the students actually get there in September, because obviously it's a stressful time for people when they've just moved out of home and they get homesick. So it'd be good to have stress management and homesick and just like awareness for all the students to make them feel better when they come here.
Thank you. Zara?
I think the first thing I'd do straight away is that you just go around and talk to people and see what's troubling them, and get their ideas and students' ideas of what's troubling them and help them with that, and I can go forward with that and help them.
Okay.
I think that firstly I have to create awareness between students for student union, and actually I think that we have to understand what are their interests, and but I think that surveys and questionnaires are not a really good idea, because most people are pissed off of that. Maybe we have to do much more close conversations, face to face, and that's all. Thank you.
My first thing I do is, as Zara already said, is to just go around and introduce myself to people. Go around the SU, go around uni, just asking just general students what they want me to do, what I can do for them, just to find out what they actually want from my role, as opposed to what I want to do for their role, if that makes sense.
Okay. What do you think is the most important welfare issue that would need to be addressed for students? And we'll start with Zara.
Well, I think from what the VP welfare at the moment says, is housing is the main issue for students at the moment. So I think that's the one main worry everyone has when you obviously move out of home. It's quite a big, scary thing to do, and when you move out of the comfort of halls into something that's everything's dealt with for you, I think that's the main problem that needs to be addressed and helped students with.
Okay, Kagana?
Well, Zara's idea is really good, but my other idea related to welfare is maybe once per year we could organize like free testing for venereal diseases, because welfare is looking for is looking after students' health and so on. So I believe that students will be happy with that.
Okay,
I would say student well-being, because if a student isn't happy, then, well, I'm not happy with them not being happy, if that makes sense. Trying to see, what they want, how happy they are, trying to find out if they do have any of the, they do suffer from any of the illnesses I said earlier on. Just trying to figure out how they're feeling and making that level higher.
Okay, and Ruth.
I think supporting students throughout their university career, because people go through hard times all the time and people drop out. So just being there for them and like running sessions just to make sure that they're all right and get through.
Thank you. Do you have any questions from the audience? Yeah, we'll go to the student there, sat next to Lee Gordon. Where's the mic? Where's the girl with the mic? Oh, we've got multitasking sonar. Thank you. Oh, now we've got a mic and it's not on. That's nice. Click at the bottom.
Sugar, sorry, I thought I was saying button.
Well, the prize for the Freddo in the last round, I forgot to award the prize for the Freddo, and it was for Alexandra. Oh, that was another bad throw. Is it working now?
Yes. Basically, one of the reasons that people leave university is because they struggle to fit in. Apart from advising them from joining society, if a student comes to you with this issue, how would you go about to help them adapt to the environment, and how would you help the student to resolve this issue?
Is that to all of the candidates?
Yeah, to all the candidates.
Okay, Sam, do you want to start us off?
This is something I'm quite familiar with. I'm a very introvert person. In my first year, I was very much alone for about half the year. So I would work on trying to kind of locate what people kind of enjoy and try and maybe introduce them to those kind of groups, if you understand that. So if I find someone that likes, I don't know, a certain type of, if they like going and seeing films, then saying, oh, why don't you go and talk to, these people, I know they like films, or introducing them to Sonar Film and trying to get them active on that.
Okay, Ruth?
I think you have to see where the problem is, because some people have problems when they're in halls of residence that they don't get on with the people. So maybe see if you can help them to move to a different halls of residence where they would fit in better, and also engage in just to see if they would fit in with the society, and then just taking them there and then giving them support throughout, and just always being there to talk to them and have tea. Yeah.
And Zara?
I agree quite a lot with Sam on that point. I've always been quite a shy person, and it took me a while to get into the whole uni thing. But I think I just support them just to jump in, because that's what I did, and it's the best way to just get yourself involved. So I support them through finding ways they could do that.
Okay, and Gagana.
For me, as you said, adaptation is really important thing. So we have to come up with some way how to reduce this problem, doing different sessions and talk about problems with students. But first, these students have to know about student union and come and to talk with us, and we'll give them support.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we'll go to the girl behind you. Sorry.
You all talk about how you're going to support the students, but how will you let the students know that the support is available?
Okay.
It's to everyone, sorry.
That's okay. Gagana, do you want to go first?
Yeah. We could do that we could write this down in social media. To do our best to promote that we could actually do that for students, and they could they have to know that we offer that benefit for them, and yeah, maybe in social media, or maybe we have to talk more with students in their free time, like lunchtime, when they having lunch in a canteen, for example. Yeah, that's my idea.
Sam?
I would be planning lots of events throughout the year of trying to get people aware of what services there are, saying, look, here's a stall for if you need help with your work, if you need help with certain, I don't know, type of deficiency, if you've got dyslexia or something like that, and just various things like that. produce maybe even a newsletter just saying, if you have problems with this, here's the person, or just go straight through me and I'll, get your message across and direct it in the right location.
I currently work in halls of residence as a resident assistant. So if I collaborate with the RAs next year, then I can support awareness of what they can do, and then they can come to me as well. Also working with lecturers to support classes, so people can come to your lecturers and then come to me and then bring it forward so we can all support them.
Yeah, I also agree with all those points. Basically, it's just getting information out, like wherever you can, so on media, in lectures, through emails, through websites, just any way, because there is a lot of things that the student union and the university offer that students don't know about it. A lot of the things I've heard of through word of mouth, so maybe just getting people just talking about it more will get students aware.
I do have another quick question as well for Sam. You say that you want to help people with dyslexia and mental health and things, but shouldn't first offer the support as well? And what would make them rather go to you instead of going to the actual university for support from them?
Indeed, they do that. That's how I found out about it, actually. Last year I messaged Gemma first saying, I've got this problem, what do I do? She directed me to Students First. It's just getting people to know that Students First is there. It's a bit strange saying that when it's the first thing you see when you enter the university, but it's just getting people to know that they can go in there at any point, just talk to someone in there, they'll arrange some form of contact with whoever the most appropriate person is.
Okay. We did have a question on Twitter. Do you believe in life after love? Who'd like to take that one first? Yeah, okay.
There's always life after love, because life doesn't revolve around love.
Oh, okay. Sam, what's your response to this?
I can feel something inside myself. I really don't think it's strong enough. I'm just going to sit back now.
I think ours is as fabulous.
Okay. Were there more questions from the audience? Someone else had their hand up. We'll go to Simona, Liz, and then Casper.
Casper, your look of disappointment then.
Sorry. Simona missed out marginally with the microphone last time, and it was nearly in her hand, and I made them give it to the other girl.
So, you all know that I'm the VP Welfare at the moment, and I'm very, very happy that you recognize the problems our students have, such as housing and looking for support. However, I made the mistake to focus on housing a bit too much. So, you all should know that welfare is also about community. So, what welfare community projects would you do? And I would love to see the next VP Welfare getting the students more involved with our local community. So yeah, what would you do about that?
Okay. Sam, do you want to start off?
Sure. I would continue with the work that was done by yourself this year, Simona, and helping out, just going through to communities like the Polygon School, students living around there, students in halls, even the council going there, seeing how they can help, and just trying to get my face as much around Southampton as possible.
Ruth?
I want to work with the local community to try and make parks safer. So, and I would also like continue on with what you've been doing as well. I'm not sure about the rest, but I'm sure it'll come to mind. And if anyone else has any questions but I can't answer, I can answer them on Monday.
Thank you. Sarah?
I want to work with more of the support side of my campaign, and with the whole university's #We Are Solent campaign as well, because that's trying to get Solent to be more of a bigger community together. So if you can make Solent a community, then you can integrate it more into the Southampton community as well.
Okay, Garner?
At the moment, I'm not really sure, but I could find out something.
Okay.
Christina, thank you. Christina, can I have one more question?
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. How about safety? What would you do to improve student safety? We have Take a Mate, which is a safety awareness campaign, but then most of our freshers are really, really worried when they come here about their safety and crossing parks. So what's your opinion on that?
Yeah.
Well, I think there's lots of good things already in place, like the night bus and the walk home scheme as well. I think that's really good. Maybe we could put on. I know Libby wants to put on like a bit more self-defense class. I think that's a really, really good idea because I know it makes. Obviously, hopefully, you would never have to use it, but it makes people feel safer because I do self-defense, so that makes people feel safer as well. I think just obviously getting the message out there, like don't walk around in like on your own at night and things, is probably the best way to promote safety and just promote awareness of the big city and what it could be like.
I think the most crucial time is when students first move here, because some come from small towns and they don't really know about it. So it's about getting out there in the first 2 weeks and just promoting about the safety in parks and handing out rape alarms and just like making posters and promoting it all around.
Sam, did you want to say?
Very much most of the same. Just carrying on with the Take a Mate, walking bus services, those kind of different, all the services, even the night bus as well. I forgot about that one. As well as was mentioned, the like prevention classes, these self-protection and general crime prevention classes, because obviously we can't stop the crimes, but minimising them is kind of the most important concern at the moment.
Okay, Gagana, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, definitely we have to do much more campaigns related to safety life, and especially this is a problem for international students as well. And yeah, definitely more campaigns, maybe some meetings, like presentations, which underline the, let's say, the risks or something.
Okay, thank you. Liz, did you have a question? No, we'll get you to stand up twice.
Really?
No, not you, Simona.
Oh, sorry. I was like, what? Am I special? Anyways, I'm not gonna sing.
When you're ready, Liz.
Sorry. Would you consider, because you're welfare, but would you consider having a welfare-related societies, and what would it be? And because most of the problems is students, like the girl behind me said, that most of the problems why students quit is because they're trying to fit in. So they probably have that societies that they could fit in with, like game societies and stuff. So what societies and why? Society and why?
Okay.
I think that's quite similar to my second point in my manifesto, which is about having like a weekly support session. So I suppose that could become like a weekly welfare society when you can talk to people who have similar problems as you and then could fit in through that.
One of my points is to further develop the Nightline, because it's currently run by Southampton Uni. So I want to make it independent, so students have support, like more support, so we can employ more people, so they can have more people to talk to. And also, my time for tea would always be to just like get people together and communicate with each other and just like talk to each other if they need support, so they won't all be alone.
Okay, Gagana?
I could say that I'm agree with these two girls. Yeah, conversations is a really good idea, so I think that's the way.
Okay.
Of success.
I think with such a broad population, there's often a bit of a clash between what kind of groups we could do. Like I know, for example, that some people don't really want to get in a big group and discuss like how they're feeling in a week, how that kind of plans out. Some love being in groups. Some, can easily go and talk to someone. Some would prefer to do it over the phone or over social media or just sending a quick tweet. So it's obviously trying to combine all of those to make every student happy, which is a big thing that would need more planning than I have in my head.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll go to Casper, but while the bike's getting passed, I'll ask you the question that's come from Twitter from Richard Allen, which is, how do you plan on integrating Warsash below bar with these Park Terrace? If you could make your answer as short and sweet as possible, because we've only got 6 minutes for the rest of this session.
Does anyone want to go first?
No.
Okay, right. Hi, Richard. I think maybe something to do maybe like an inter-campus competition thing. Maybe get people involved in an event where they can all work together.
Thank you.
I'll agree with that. Definitely getting the two communities together, as well as maybe even starting more frequent transport between the two and getting them kind of more advertised in Warsash, as well as advertise them here more.
Okay. Does anyone want to add anything different? No. Okay. Casper?
Yeah. Right. Well, being an international student, I was lucky living with British people or home students in my first year, but I know a lot of international people who weren't, and then there's also the group of international people that come here and have no clue what they're doing, and basically they get excluded from university housing. And that on top of the local business life, especially the clubs, sort of segmenting people into international students and home students. How would you, and I'm not looking for the make the university change it answer, how would you implement initiatives to make sure that, you know, international students who come here for 3 years or even a year sort of don't get allocated into, you know, closed groups of international student and home student? How would you mix it up?
I think it's working with like halls of residence just to make sure, because I work there now, so they do put international people in the corridor so they don't feel so alone. But if you work with them and like the accommodation office to make sure that they're actually combined in different corridors, then you can take it from there.
Sarah, do you want to go next?
I agree totally with what Ruth just said, to be honest. Integration is probably the best thing. One of the things I just see in my manifesto is getting like an event purely for international students just to start off with, so they can you can feel like at home at first and then start integrating yourselves into. But
that was a problem because a lot of those students, they stay in the group of international people, they talk with other international people, and they get, in third year, they get very segmented into like, you know, international students and home students, and that was the problem. You know, it's the part of the university experience when you come to Britain to be with Spanish people or Norwegians or Danish.
I feel that if you can get people feeling more at home, then they'll start integrating themselves more into maybe like the home students, as you're saying. I think that would work.
Just a short point adding to your comment. When you say that by putting all the international students together, you will make them feel at home, it makes no difference for them if they are put with English, partying with English people or with other foreign people, because it's not like they're only with their own nationality friends. There might be 2 Spanish people, 3 Bulgarian, 5 German, and 10 Norwegian or Danish, but they're all international. That's what brings them together. It doesn't really separate them from the English students, if that makes sense.
I'm not sure what you mean. Sorry.
Basically, just because you put all the international students together, it doesn't make them feel at home. It would make no difference if they were with English people and the rest, because, for example, I'm Romanian. Just because I'm partying with a lot of international students makes no difference to me if English people are there or not. I won't feel at home just because I'm with the international students.
Yeah, I wasn't. I'm not saying that not just because they're all together. Just if there's more events run aimed at them, it might make them feel like they're more included.
Did anyone want to add anything to either of those points?
Just, I'd say, just raising the profile of the current societies. There's the Norwegian Society and ACS, raising their profiles so that everyone knows who they are, what they are, and trying to get them all entwined with every other student in the uni.
Thank you. Any more questions? Yeah, we'll go over there, and then I've got one final question.
Hello, Hello, I'm Odell. I've worked closely with Sam. He actually inspired me to do a lot of work in the community. So I've known him for a while now. That was through a society. What my question was is, how will you collaborate with societies to? Because what I think is missing at the moment from society is a welfare element. Everyone's got certain issues in different places, LGBT, international society. But if there was a welfare element or awareness to do with that society, they could reach out to the people that it matters to in their societies and who it links back to in their degrees, in their groups, in their social circles. So the question is to you, how would you collaborate with societies to bring awareness of welfare or collaborate with them on welfare positions or elements to their societies?
I suppose you have to speak to the students and see what they would want, and then work with the VP engagement to create, and the societies to create a society for people, what will give them support and give a welfare society.
I think it'd be good to try and have like a meeting with like the leader of the society with the engagement and the welfare officer as well, to maybe they can sit down and talk and have lunch and find out everyone's problems.
Yeah, maybe having a council each month with the leaders of all the different societies and saying, look, you know, I'm here, I do this, I can help you with this, I can help any of your patrons with this, just come to me.
Thank you. Or a light-hearted question to finish you off. What would be better, a duck-sized horse or a horse-sized duck?
A duck-sized horse.
Thank
How
you.
cute would that be?
Pretty
Like a little, I want one.
And there you have
Science, make it happen.
your VP welfare candidates. And we also do have one other candidate, which I forgot to mention earlier, so I'm sorry. But unfortunately, Ed wasn't able to be here tonight, but he does have his manifesto online, so you can have a look there. Let's give him a round of applause and get the president on stage. Well done, guys. So if the...
Is this on?
If all presidential candidates could come to the stage, please. Preferably without destroying it on the way. Can I get Lee Gordon on the stage? And the prize in that last round for the most interesting or good question is to the girl that was sat next to Lee Gordon. I'm not going to throw this. I'm going to throw it. Sorry. That's why I wasn't going to throw it. You're a bit far away. Oh, I've got a gap in the middle. Yeah, just make sure you guys talk into the microphone so they can hear you on the broadcast. Okay, we're going to kick off. So the candidates will each have 2 minutes to introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about the manifesto, and we'll start with Natalie when you're ready.
Hi, I'm Natalie Stockholm. I'm a third-year advertising student. My main points in my manifesto would be to campaign against unfair letting agency fees. My second is to create some kind of portal app which would have what the students want on it on the go. I want to involve all cultures on all of the campuses, tailoring not just to, you know, events and things like that, but making it so everyone's involved in different cultures. And my last one is recognition and support of course-based fundraising. There's so many great events that everyone has to put on in third year, and they're just not shouted about in any way. And obviously, you know, the actual training behind it so they can get to where they want to be. Thank you.
Thank you. Naomi?
Hi, I'm Naomi Oiku, and I'm running to be your new SU president. I've been involved with the Students' Union during my whole university experience. I've been heavily engaged with Sonar Media by working on their committee for 2 years. As head of music, assistant manager, and I'm currently the new station manager. During my second year, I was the group leader for an events team, and we hosted a Hollywood-themed boat party in aid of the Teenage Cancer Trust and raised over £500 for charity. If I'm elected, I want to have hidden course costs integrated into your course fee, such as production fees, graphic materials, and have cheap printing. I want to host a summer ball, which is something we've never done before. I want to improve accommodation facilities for Warsash students. I want to integrate an SSU housing agency within the university, reduce graduation fees by reducing the cost of hiring gowns and also photography. I'm positive I can make a change at Solent, and I'll always make sure that the university are always taking the student perspective into account. As the SU president, it's all about your ideas, our voice, and my commitment, so please vote for me.
Thank you. Okay, Lee?
All right. Hello, everyone. Before I start, I thought it would be quite courteous to say thank you for coming and spending the time to obviously watch this. As you know, my name is Lee Gordon. I run to be your new SU president. So, as you know, the university provide knowledge to help you with your career plan. As president, I will ensure that the SU can provide you a memorable lifestyle you can take further to enhance your opportunities. You learn about me that my philosophy is hit a few birds with one stone. You've probably grown up with that saying. As president, I aim to kill 5 birds with one stone by providing you expensive professional qualifications, serious hardware, software for free within all faculties, at least some. Serious guaranteed job opportunities and industry-specific experience. Extra funding for student projects with simpler paperwork, less bureaucracy. Society expansion in SU. I'll explain further about that. And yeah, vote for me. Look out for my page, and I'm here for you guys. Thank you.
And Adam.
Hi guys, my name's Adam. I'm a 4th-year journalism student. The first question I'd like to ask you is, can you do your job? And by that I mean there are millions of young people around in England who are unemployed. And why should any of them be Solent students? I think every Solent student should know about work experience, internships, and placements that are available so that they can be better prepared when they graduate, because ultimately when you study for a degree, you want a job at the end of it. My second point is about feedback. I think it's poor. There was once a girl on my course who got feedback from a lecturer that literally just said poor. No other explanation, and I think that's very bad. We pay thousands of pounds for our degrees, and to get one word back for feedback, it's just disgusting, really, isn't it? The last point I'd like to make is about access all areas. I know that sometimes we like to leave our assignments until the last minute, which means that on a Saturday, we wake up hungover, we need to do our work, and we go to a room and it doesn't have the program that we need. So I think that all computers should have the programs that we need in order for us to be able to do our work when we need to do it. And I think that's the best way that we will be able to move forward. My name's Adam Charles. Vote for me. Thank you.
Thank you. I like that we've got clapping going on for this one. It's good. Keeps us alive. Okay, so the first question is, what do you think are the top priorities for your role? Obviously, the president oversees the whole union, so what are your top priorities? And we'll start with Natalie.
Okay, I think obviously leadership, helping the other subs, but I do also think getting your face out there. A lot of people have talked about social media. I actually think it's more face-to-face conduct, you know. And yeah, rallying everyone together when things aren't going to plan. But yeah, being the friendly face of the union, people being able to come up to you. And yeah, just being there, I think, is the main point.
Thank you. Naomi?
I think as president, I need to be there to represent students, not just locally, but nationally. I also want to find out what students want, so I want to go out and talk to people directly. We have got social media, but some, like mentioned earlier, not everyone uses it, so we need to go out there. And I want to work closely with the other SABs. We've got VP Engagement, Education and Welfare. Work with them, and then obviously we'll talk to people directly and find out what they want, because it's all about your ideas, and then we speak as a voice for everyone. I think it's mainly about leadership and working closely with not only the uni, not only teachers, but the SABs team as well, because we're all meant to be working as a team.
Thank you. Lee?
Well, as president, I firstly think it's quite pivotal to understand the committee overall and what their responsibilities are. Welfare, engagement, education. To engage with students, I don't believe that solely it should be done by social media. Although it's quite important and it has a big impact on individuals in university, especially if they can't get to the SU immediately. I think that it is great if we can actually communicate with the students directly, find out where the hotspots are, and literally engage them straight away, get them involved, give them the summary of the SU, not just present it as a bar with cheap drinks, but present the upper floor of the sabbaticals and show them the opportunities which are within the university, getting them wide in the first instance. Yeah, and I believe it's just working overall as a union, being goal congruent with everyone, and obviously getting results that way.
Thank you. Adam?
I think the key roles for the president would be to be the spokesperson of the students' union. For everyone, as someone mentioned, to be the face so that everyone knows who you are and what we're about. I also think it's important for us to be accountable to people at the university, to the students, and to people who are higher than the student union anyway. And I think we'd be on the board of governors, so I think that would naturally be a part of that. But yeah, I just think it's important for people to have a focal point where they know the student union is. And as I said, being the spokesperson and being able to represent what the student union is about, which is ultimately you, the students.
Thank you. Can I get an update on my question screen, please? And in the meantime, are there any questions from the audience? Okay, yep. Can we get a mic to these people? Thank you.
Hi, my question is for Lee, and it says that you are going to give expensive professional qualifications for free. How can something go from expensive to free, like just like that? How are you going to do that?
Break it down. So what I meant by expensive professional qualifications for free is, as students, I've heard as course rep as well, that you get your degree, but yet you're still unqualified, or you don't have enough expertise to still get on the graduate scheme and approach employers. So what is the degree? What I'm proposing here is liaising with SMEs, local firms, such as in areas such as FBSE, media, FKIS, Warsash, in the engineering departments, providing them with software such as Sage and Maya. Now, because there are so much opportunities I've seen, let me target on one. I know that there's Sage, which is accountancy software. Now, this morning I spoke to this lady called Jo, which is the deputy head. Now, currently they offer that as £450 plus £30 excess in VAT. Now, this is an affordable package, and it's something which the union alone, with enough petitions and your voices, we can get this through. This would be another opportunity for you guys. This would be another opportunity for you guys to get more qualified, approach employers with more confidence, and actually know exactly what you're talking about.
Thank you. Next question? Yeah, we'll just go along the row, shall we?
Yeah, you said about all the free programs and stuff like that.
I'm so sorry, are you talking to me?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
How are you going to provide funding for all of this?
Sorry?
How are you going to provide funding for all the free stuff you're offering?
Well, I think that's what puts me in good stead, actually. I'm currently a third-year accounting and finance student, targeting tax specialism. Looking at the current student union's incomes, it's 615,000. 615,000. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Now, I know that particularly in the enterprise department, in the SU, it is encouraged currently that students should be able to involve themselves in projects. Now, this is hitting the two birds with one stone. With less bureaucracy and less paperwork, students are not going to be deterred from applying to this, because there's readily cash available for you guys. Now, with the money there, you students can actually have this free cash, almost like a grant, you could say, with reason, get together and get qualified. Now, so I don't know, what do you study, for example?
I do journalism.
Journalism. Yeah. Now, that's a serious topic. Now, what would you say your particular areas are of where you feel that you don't have enough qualifications for the sector to go out there yet? Where would you want to get some extra software?
NTCJ is obviously a big thing that university sort of pushes for,
Yeah.
but there isn't enough sort of coverage on it. They don't really add, you need to do this, to the sort of thing. But at the same time, it's very expensive to go through all these courses you have to pay for it. That's why, how are you going to talk to university and be like, okay, this is the money we make, now give me that money so I can do this? How are you going to convince them to do that?
I think, firstly, as a president, it is the opportunity to, or it is an opportunity and privilege in a sense because you're at the highest level. So where I'll be going, as Christina has, talking to the Van Gogh the dean, and other areas, she can talk directly to the top. Now this is a position I'll be going into. Now, business etiquette is something which you need. You need to be able to talk and project yourself well. And it wouldn't be something like, give me that. You would have a much more of a daring approach. But to kind of say that I would want to get every software, I can't promise that. That's not feasible. So if that's what you're asking, I wouldn't be able to achieve that. But if you're asking that whether you can get the facilities, some facilities which will put you in good stead against other Russell groups, such as Southampton University, is something where we can liaise. There's opportunities where I think associating yourself with big brands like the other university, liaising with them and the departments, putting students and your voices together is something is powerful enough. And that being all collected by the president, because I'll be involved in you guys subjects. I'll be walking around and getting involved with each and every one of you and seeing what your opinions are, and actually putting forward your voice.
Okay.
So I hope that helps.
Thank you. We have a question from Twitter, which is, how have all the candidates been involved in the SU since being at Solent? So we'll start with Naomi, although you've covered it a bit. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Well, I've mentioned I've been involved with Sonar Media for the past 3 years. Been station manager, assistant manager. Well, I'm current station manager at the moment. Did you say involved with the SU or university?
With the SU.
Mainly Sonar Media, I think. I've done volunteering. Trying to think what else. Well, I advertised the boat party within the SU. That sort of relates to the university and raised £500 for charity. And obviously that's something that's important that we need to do, is raise awareness not only for our university but for other charities and make us look better as a university. Well, we are a good university, but make us look even better and get out there and get involved with other charities. So, yeah.
Thank you. And Lee, how have you been involved in the SU since being at Solent?
Well, I want to bring to everyone's attention first, what is the SU? The SU is just a building. It's the people which make it. So right now, you guys are the SU. You are a union of students, which have united thoughts, which I'm interrogated right now. I think that I have been involved with you guys in the sense you've probably seen me run around uni like a headless chicken, trying to get you guys to stretch past just your degree in journalism, for example, in accountancy.
Sorry. Because we don't have much time, I need you to be quite direct with your
answer.
I'm
going to be very direct then. I'm a president of the Spark Society. Currently, I'm liaising with Southampton University, organising apprentice challenges, investing in individuals and students like yourself to actually set up businesses. So far, I'm running with a couple of students right now, which obviously are building up their business plan. So if any of you guys are interested, do contact me after. But this is something where I am involved in students. I'm getting them from an idea, putting the idea somewhere into reality and helping them actually stretch past their qualifications and making them more personally developed and professionally developed.
Thank you. Adam?
I can't say I've been fully involved with the SU, but I'm trying to now. And what better way to do that than be president of the Students' Union? And I've been trying to get involved with Sonar Media. I haven't had as much luck as Naomi, but I've been trying. And as I say, I want to be involved now, which is why I'm here.
Okay, and Natalie.
I'll give you the bullet point version because we're on
Thank
time. Okay, I've raised £40,000-ish at the moment. Through the Raising Gifts Society. I've volunteered about 500 hours of my time to SU projects. I preside over two societies, the Raising Gifts Society and the Advertising Society. I'm a faculty rep, which makes it so I sit on various boards like Student Council and helping with like the Vice Chancellor and things like that. So.
Thank you. We'll go to Alessandra at the front. Oh, Mate did have his hand up first, sorry. I think, is your question going to be for Lee?
No, it's for two of them.
Oh, okay, yeah, we'll go to you and then we'll go to Mate because now he looks sad.
So yeah, and being SU president, not only do you have to facilitate all the other jobs of the sabbatical officers, run the SU, but also come across as incredibly approachable to all the students. Sam picked up on obviously students with less confidence and anxiety. How Natalie and Lee, would you ensure that you don't come across as possibly intimidating or arrogant or overconfident to these people that might not sit here and ask a question on microphone?
I'm afraid that question is personal, so I will suggest that they don't need to answer that unless you would like to ask all candidates how they will be approachable to students.
Then all candidates is fine.
It seems a bit like a sort of a statement than a question, but
Yeah,
I'm
so
alright.
we'll ask all candidates how you plan on being approachable to students.
Ladies first.
Okay, well, I've worked with so many different students. We're doing things like sending groups to Thailand and things like that. It encourages so many different kinds of students that I've got a varied amount of experience in it. But obviously, it's the simple point of being polite and friendly. You know, open door policy. If anyone's wandering around, like you've probably seen in the SU, wandering around like I don't really know where I am. Just go and talk to them. It's really that simple, and then you can point them in the right direction.
Okay, Naomi?
I agree with what Natalie said. You need to come across as friendly, approachable and confident to everyone. We need to go out directly to students, not only on social media. Yeah, you'll know, oh, Naomi's president or Lee's president, but going out there and actually seeing the person doing work would make them come across as less intimidating. And also, we've mentioned going across the university, but none of us have actually mentioned Warsash. We need to go over to them because they're university students as well. They're part of Southampton Solent. I just think we need to go across and talk to them, and we've got below bar, I think there is. And we spoke about international students. I'm not going to segregate international students because they're the same as us, but maybe make them feel more welcoming and then sort of come across as more approachable and friendly to everyone, not just university students here, just Warsash and everyone else. So
thank you. Adam?
I think it's just about being inclusive, really. I don't like to think of myself as arrogant or what was the other word you used? Intimidate. I'm lovely. So I think it's more just a matter about getting out and talking to people. And once people speak to you and sort of you're able to put across your personality, I think that's probably the best way that you're going to be able to make people know that you are that type of person. So yeah, I think it's just simply a matter of trying to include everyone and getting out and speaking to people, and that's probably the best way.
Lee, anything you want to add?
You took the words out of my mouth. I think literally it's just being real with everyone. Everyone's come from different backgrounds. As president, I don't want you to call me that.
That wasn't
call me
an
welfare, call
accusation
me
to anyone, I
education.
promise you.
I think as a president, although you're overlooking everyone, I don't think that should be the consensus with everyone. I think you should really just kind of treat yourself as welfare, treat yourself as education at some point. If someone wants to come to me with their welfare problems, they might not want to go to Sam, they might not want to go to no one else. They might want to come to me. It's a free world, it's a free speech. Come to me, talk to me. Like I'm well open to any discussions and in confidence. It's the SU with students.
Thank you. We'll go to Mate.
Okay, that's a question for Natalie. You have in your manifesto the portal timetable app. Good idea. Thank you so much. But do you think that just the timetable app is enough? Because I think if you want to have an app for students, you need to cover library loans, booking library like rooms, results as well. So, and I don't know if you have experience with the apps for smartphones, but you need to have an app for iPhones, tablets, and Androids as well. And this is really expensive.
Well, the way I'm working the expenditure side of things is if it's an app for Solent students, I think Solent students should be the ones working on it, going through creatives, going through actually incorporating it into courses and things like that to keep costs really, really low. With what you said about, you know, expanding what's actually on it, obviously before it went into any kind of production, it would be what do students want on it. The three that came to mind obviously were like attendance, just because trying to find my attendance on portals is a nightmare. You know, the timetable and the results, because they're the ones that students have come to me and said, like, you know, first off. But obviously, you know, your ideas, I hadn't thought of them, and every student's going to have a different version of what their perfect one would be. Maybe even making the app so it could actually be tailored to what you want. You know, you can choose out of however many. But yeah, just so it's an easy, accessible, no fuss thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but Can I?
Oh, did you?
Yeah, you know, but if you want to have a really good app for students and they can choose what they want, I think it will be, I don't know, it can cost £20,000. That's not a problem. That's really big app. Yeah, so you need to find money for this, and I think it's.
I want to involve students not just because, you know, it'll keep costs down and things like that, but I want to involve them because if it's a big launch and it, you know, it works great and all of that, anyone that's worked on that is going to get their employability skills up so much. It will also, you know, it will be something that Solent can be proud of. It won't be an outside company. It will be integrated into everything we do.
Okay. Next question from the audience. We'll go to Christian and then, oh God, I've forgotten your name. David, sorry. Yeah, Christian and then David, because it makes sense with the microphone.
Right, my question is for Naomi. On your manifesto, you've got about the Warsaw accommodation facilities. But as of this year, their accommodations are actually, they comply in line with the University's Guild Code of Practice. So basically all Solent accommodations are to the same standard now. So with that in mind, how would you improve Warsaw facilities without alienating current, like this area, Solent students' accommodation?
It's not about alienating people. I haven't been to Warsash myself, but having research, 2 weeks ago I found out about Warsash. I never knew about it. I don't know, put your hands up if you know what Warsash is, or exactly, not many people have put their hands up. And I plan to come down next week and find out all the problems that relate to like the facilities and find out what is wrong with it and then try and improve it and work with them. Because I've spoken to a few people, I've heard that the food isn't nice, the heating's crap, or it doesn't come on at the right time, and there's shared rooms and we could group people better. Like there's people that are 30, 40 and that are in Warsash, and people that are our age, like well not our age, I don't know how old everyone else is, but 21, and they live different lifestyles, so you just need to accommodate to them, and it's just about me going there and finding out what the problem is.
Thank you. A question from David?
Yeah. Oh, there he goes. My question is about how to improve the relationship between all of you. So it's to every single one. But how will you improve the relation between the uni, the students, and the uni itself? Because at the moment it's pretty rubbish. Because like you said, you did that boat thing. I didn't even know about it. And I'm quite, I do a lot with the uni because I'm also a course rep and stuff, but I never knew about it. And I can tell you, but probably loads of students probably also didn't know about it. So how will you actually improve the union with the uni and the students itself? The relationship between them all?
Naomi, do you want to go first?
Just at me?
Not just at you, but do you want to start?
Oh, okay. It's about going out there. It's about marketing the union, I think, is the most important thing. Because when I started in first year, I didn't know much about the union, and I took myself and went to a societies fair, and that's how I got involved with Radio Sonar. I didn't know much about it, but I think it's just going out there directly. The main thing is marketing. The main thing is, like, even if I get president and work with the other 3 sabbatical officers, I'll go to halls. You just need to get yourself out there. That's the important thing. And working closely with the university, it's about organising meetings, organising events that will inform students about events like the boat party, and just getting the help and maybe even the funding to market not only the uni itself but the SU.
Okay, Adam?
Just off the back of that, I think what Naomi said is correct. I think it's probably important promotion is a very big part of it. And I think, I know everyone's sort of spoken about social media, but I think everyone does have a social media account, or most people do anyway. And I think it would be very important to go there, start from there and promote it that way. And as I mentioned earlier, going out and speaking to people is also an important way that you'd be able to get people to improve the relationship, because as I said, if you have a central location or a common face that you can see working on certain goals, then you know that person is the face of the problem or the relationship, that whatever you want to work on. So I think it's more about improving the converse or conversation between the two.
Lee and Natalie, do you want to add anything?
Well, obviously, the SABs this year have done so much work with getting the SABs actually on boards where everyone comes together and actually talks about all these problems, which is great. And to be honest, I think it should just be pushed more and more so the SU has more and more of a voice when it comes to any kind of academic, anything, decisions. And with involvement with students, with all the campuses, with some cases, it's as simple as the fact that they just don't get the information. You know, things like comms team and stuff just not going down to below bar. And with Warsash, even groups and societies, I think it's you have to ask them what they want and actually implement it. Don't just say you will. But then also not only tailor it to them. So, you know, if you ask the International Society what they wanted, not just cater it for them. Make sure they get everything that they want and then open it up to everyone so it's actually a cultural experience. And there'll be so many events that we don't even know about for everyone that if you just ask, someone will tell you.
Thank you. Anne-Lee?
Well, to kind of directly answer your question, I think the key word is communication. I think there's a lack of communication within the relationship of the university as well as his relationship with the SU. I think that, to be honest, it's really getting yourself out there and it's really kind of working with the students, almost rebranding the SU, helping people understand it's not just the bar downstairs, that it's a building of opportunities, which students can benefit for, personally and professionally. I think that right now, a load of students are struggling in their courses. Although this might be an education matter, I think as a president, it is still something which is my concern. And I think getting along with the teachers, helping them understand what the SU has to offer, and vice versa, helping the teachers understand what the SU has to offer as well, or we can offer the teachers as well. That would help bridge the gap. Because right now, when you go to teachers, I went around with the Spark Society and they didn't understand what it was. I was like, it literally will benefit your business and master students. It will help them set up their businesses. Half the class had ideas, but the teachers didn't know about the issue. This is just a reason why we need to bridge that gap. And this is the best way to start with the teachers and work your way through the class.
Thank you. We've only got time for one more question from the audience, I'm afraid. So first hand in the air. Yep, over there. Oh, fight it out amongst yourselves.
No.
If they answer quickly, we might get time for two.
Okay. Basically, a president is supposed to be involved in, is supposed to attend meetings such as trustee board, leadership team, senior management team. You guys should know that. But how would you go in there and make sure your opinion's not biased? What would you do beforehand, and how would you do it?
Okay. Adam, do you want to start this one?
Yeah, I think it's a matter of trying to understand the problem or the issues that you want to raise in that meeting, or the multiple meetings that you mentioned. And I think sort of careful planning before you go into, prior to those meetings, will help you be able to make your voice heard. You spoke about bias. I suppose there would be bias, but ultimately we're trying to work for the voice of the students anyway. So I suppose naturally there would be a little bit of bias, but I think that can only be a good thing, because if the students are telling us what they want and telling us what they need, then it's ultimately going to benefit them. So I think careful planning and just a teeny bit of bias is always good. So yeah, I think that's probably how I'd deal with that issue.
Anyone want to comment?
I've been to these meetings and they give you like the biggest stack of paperwork you've ever seen in your whole life, all different colours, and but yeah, it's about preparation. Like, you need to read through it. You need to, if you don't know what they're talking about, you just need to ask. From what I've been to, they are actually very open to people from the SU, just because student experience is like their buzzword at the moment. They need to improve student experience, so they're turning to the SU to kind of actually tell them what to do in a way, which is great for the SU. But yeah, it's definitely about prepping a lot.
Yeah.
Any further comments?
Yeah, well, I think everyone's got their perspectives, but I think we should keep our own personal thoughts outside That's in regards to bias. But I think the best approach for all these meetings is literally taking a step back, having preparations, and literally going there and hearing other people's thoughts, helping what students have said as well. So going out beforehand as well, getting a list or a survey of what students think beforehand to substantiate your points. But I think to kind of just say stuff which are sort of unsubstantial, I think it's pointless going to a meeting like that. I think just engage your students, get everyone involved, and go with the flow. Obviously, you have your points which you're going to address in the meeting, have your agenda, stick to the script, but obviously get everyone involved because literally it's the thoughts overall that count.
Thank you. Naomi, did you want to add?
I do agree with what everyone says in terms of like preparation, and you don't want to go in there and be biased. But at the same time, we're students now, and we're in the university. We know what you're experiencing. So the stuff that hasn't been achieved now, we can now bring as president to the meeting and be like, well, this didn't happen when we was a student, and we're just leaving as students now. It needs to happen. I think you need to go in there and be strong-minded and, as we said, prepared. And yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, just preparation's key.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. One last question.
I'll make this quick. So I do a lot of work in the community, the university, and the union. But one thing I find is I go upstairs to the SU and I find no one. That's because there's multiple meetings, there's multiple people to talk to. My question to you is, how would you support me? A lot of you have spoken about many things, and we've kind of whittled down that communication is a big thing, a big major. It lacks, like it's very poor. But no one's actually said how you would restore that bond, how you restore that line of communication. I think one of the main things that the union have done this year that has been positive is bringing the union down to the main concourse. But what things like that, where you're actually putting the union in front of people, can you implement next year to kind of re-engage the communication lines between student, uni, and union?
Go.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I think, as I said before, it's about promotion. I think that's an important thing. And you said people coming down to the main concourse. I think that there needs to be a continuation of that. And if I was president, I think there'd be a nice transition to continue that type of thing because, as I said, the central point, people knowing who the faces of the SU are is a very vital thing. But I also think that there should be events. There should be even sort of networking days, if you want to call it that, just so people know where the SU is, who the SU are, and what they're about. And in that way, the communication, I think, will naturally be improved because if people are speaking face to face and they can see who is there, they can talk about their problems, talk about their issues. And I think you mentioned the community as well. I think people like yourself who have been involved in the community, I think it's about getting them involved and trying to understand what work they've been doing so that we can further that work and improve.
Thank you. Anyone else want to?
I think the great thing about subs being on these boards is not only that transaction, but the fact that the actual staff members and things for specific, like society coordinator, things like that, have grown, which is great because they're just as informed and you can go in, you can talk to them and everyone's just so relaxed. So I've never really gone into the union and been, found no one that can tell me anything. So growing staff members is definitely a bonus. I also feel like there should be some kind of union presence, not only, at the big fancy events, but things like the third year events that everyone organises. Any kind of gallery opening, anything like that, I feel like there should be some kind of union presence, even if it's only one sub coming down, because there's always a uni presence there, and if there isn't a union presence there at the same time, then I think that's a lack.
Okay.
I think from listening to all these students, it's a bad thing in terms of walking across the car park to get to the SU to find other opportunities. But it's even worse when you've come there and it doesn't look like the right environment. It's under-resourced, as some people say. It's underused. Literally, the bar isn't as spectacular as you would think. It looks like a room. People aren't satisfied within their positions in the SU. How do you expect to get students to come to you? I think it's pointless to address, let's get more students and staff in here. before we get the environment which best suits you. By redeveloping the environment, getting more facilities in the CSI. Like, look, I know a lot of you lads are like football. You know, like get Sky Sports upstairs. It's affordable. Like use the CSI. It's empty. It's derelict up there. I'm always there on my own, like to do my research because it's quiet. And it shouldn't be like that. It should be a perfect environment for you guys to interact, get to know each other, and comfortable as well. So I think the first steps is redeveloping the SU and then literally reaching out to you students, telling you what's there all together.
Thank you, Naomi.
In terms of communication, is it the CSI you haven't been able, who have you been looking for in order to find out what you want to know?
So like just anyone with any information. So I held a massive fundraiser in the community, and I didn't have anyone to support me in the union. I asked for help. Trying to get any funding out of the union was so hard. I couldn't even get £1, to be honest, and it was more I had to spend my own money to kind of claim it back. And it wasn't the money that was the issue. It was just having some people behind me, and I had people contest me saying that because we're a charity, we can't support you because you're not a charity yourself, or you're fundraising for someone else, and we only fundraise for us. And there was just loads of red tape around what I was doing, and it was for a good cause. And there's been a number of situations where not everyone in the union's known the right information, maybe because it's the beginning of the year, you're in training, you're still learning things yourself, and I can't really ask much of you, but it's having that one person that would matter. And that was my personal issue, but for everyone, I just don't understand how you can communicate with everyone if you're always in meetings, or if you're going to be training for the first couple of months, if you've got freshers the first week. There's people in second year that need your help in the first week with timetabling. You can't help them because you don't know much yourself. You haven't had those meetings with the people in the university. So issues like that.
See, I think as president, in terms of like you're going out there, you're getting experience with working with other charities and stuff. We need to help you do that and help other students do that. I mean, I do work experience at Voice FM, and getting funding and going out there and doing it yourself, the uni should support that. And I know you're talking about communication, and we need to be there to communicate. I mean, there will be 4 sabbatical officers, and we're not going to be in the office all at once, but we need to market ourselves, go across the uni. We could even go across to the SM building. Like, we don't have to just stick to just the main concourse. Just go over there, get around, and I think it's more about marketing, and social media is the main thing, and just getting known and getting your face around there. I mean, it's your ideas, and then as a president, it's our voice to voice those ideas, not only locally but nationally as well.
Thank you. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for, but I have got my fun question, which is, if you're elected as president, you will be the big cheese. So, if you could be a cheese, what would you be? Go.
Cranberry cheese.
That's good.
Yes.
That's a good
Lee?
cheese. Oh, blue cheese.
Halloumi cheese. Cheddar, everyone loves cheddar.
Thank you. And that is all we've got time for. Oh, the winner of the Freddo. Don't be silly. Oh, I've forgotten who. That guy there in the red jumper. Burgundy. Yes! I actually made it to get to you. Practice makes perfect.